This is Nairobi News Extra, and as promised, we have here the owner of G-Spot Kenya. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Emu, just tell people your name and what you do.
My name is Beverly Munga. Everyone calls me Bev Munga, or the Vibrating Lawyer. And I own a company called G-Spot Kenya. So the vibrating lawyer part is because I'm a lawyer by profession.
Yes.
And then the vibrating part is because I sell dildos and vibrators. So you kind of merge them to become the vibrating lawyer. That's my tag.
Let me just get this question out of the way.
Yeah.
This G thing, does it exist or is it a myth?
Every single woman has a G-spot, that's for sure. It's there. Just because a particular woman or a man hasn't found the G-spot doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's actually there.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, she was apparently involved in if you were reading nairobinews.co.ke, you saw a story there that involved her and a certain person in the city who actually requisitioned for a sex toy and refused to pay. But for this and more, you should go to Nairobi News Extra. Now, this question I have to ask you.
Please do. Yes.
Do you use your own medicine?
It's like, how can I put this? And everyone keeps asking me that question.
Yes.
I think there's no way you can be selling such an item or such items and not sample them. I mean, how are you supposed to recommend to a client?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you deliver your products, have you gone somewhere ukaambiwa Beverly ingia ndani, alafu a minute later unapata unaombewa, unaambiwa huyo shetani atoke?
Other things, yes, like people asking me to demonstrate live.
Oh,
so
really?
I don't deliver anymore. So we have riders and courier services who do that for me, only because when I started off the business, I was having some problems with such crazy people. I don't want to say crazy, but perverts in a way.
What is the most craziest thing a client has ever asked you to do?
Maybe just that, try it on yourself first. If you have an orgasm,
oh, wow,
then I guarantee, then that means I'll buy it for my wife.
Oh, wow.
Yes, those are husband buying for a wife. So it gets crazy requests. But yeah, I've learned to, just go with the flow.
How long have you been in this business?
4.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How is business so far?
I can't complain. I can't. Guys keep saying up and down. Of course, it's up and down.
Yes.
But personally, I don't think I can complain. Yeah.
Who are your biggest sellers? Nairobians?
Of course, Nairobians.
Well.
Of course, Nairobians. Even though you get the occasional clients from Kapsabet, Loitoktok,
Yeah.
Marsabit, but of course Nairobi and Mombasa.
Nairobians love their toys.
They do love to have a good time, yes.
Now into the business aspect, how do you import them? In fact, that when you reach at custom, how do you label them?
First of all, they're not illegal, if that's what you're trying to ask.
Yes.
Because we don't have any law stating anything to do with that. So to me, they're just massages. They're just personal effects. Someone ever asked me, because these products are actually used by masseuses in Nairobi. If you go for a massage, they actually use these vibrators if you have some back pains and stuff. They were actually initially meant for back pains and to release stress. Initially, way back in the day. They were meant for back pains and all this to, because vibrations kind of ease your muscles and they ease your pain. So initially, that was the whole point of vibrators, massages. Okay. But then, of course, people started using them for other
things.
Yeah.
You have said you have been doing this for 4 years. Have you gotten stigmatized maybe by relatives, family members?
I'm glad I have thick skin.
Yes.
Because it happens to me every day. People tell me I'm breaking up homes. Others tell me I'm turning the country into lesbianism and lesbians. People tell me ungodly. You just get very many satanic. But I'm like, who gives a damn? As in, I don't care. People are going to talk, and then at the end of the day, the guy is stigmatizing me and guys talking cruel things, mostly online, guys who don't even know me, because the ones who know me are very supportive, but the ones who don't know me are the ones who are like, hey, what are you doing? All these insults that I get. But they're the same guys who come and inbox me later on, hey, where can I get this? How do I use this? So, yeah, so long as it brings any publicity, is good publicity. I don't really mind.
Between men and women, the ratio of men and women, who are the...
It's actually men.
Okay, really?
Who buy more. It's not even women, it's the men.
And guys, people never knew that. Always we thought that these toys are only made for women.
They are,
but apparently now we have a men's collection.
category. Yeah, they do. Your question is twice. There's one. The men, most of my customers are guys buying for their women, not for themselves.
Oh wow.
They're buying from their wives. They're buying for their girlfriends, for their clandays, for all these people. The men actually buy more, but they don't really like being known. And of
Yes.
course, the men who buy toys for themselves, because they're actually products or toys that men can use as well
Yes.
for themselves. But it's a 50-50 thing. But I'd say men quite, because I like men, because men never bargain. I like men, yeah.
Have you ever thought of actually opening a shop or something?
It's my dream. God, I'd love to have a shop. I'd love...
Because now it's
abroad,
just an online
exactly, it's just online, because abroad
business.
People go into a shop and buy things online, not online, sorry, on a shop. They buy something, then they go out. It's not a big thing. But in Kenya, we still have this tradition. We are conservatives. We still don't want to be getting into that shop. When someone says, imagine they have a shop and then everyone knows about the shop. So when anyone comes in, someone's going to be judged coming out because
Yes.
somebody already knows. So I'm kind of comfortable online, even though I love a shop. But then again, I really like respecting my clients' privacy and confidentiality. Yes. So I don't think I'd really want a shop. I'd want to, but to an extent of, depending on who's comfortable enough to get in and buy.
Well, I said on social media that we are going to have a very special guest on our show.
Yes.
And one of the questions from one of our followers was who was asking, he wanted me to ask you, are you married?
No.
When you get married, would you be using this with your husband?
Spice things up. Goodness, yes. Whips, scarves, blindfolds. Once you're married, sex gets boring, and it's always awesome for a couple to try new things, because after you married for 10 years, you're gonna get bored of each other.
Yes.
You're used to the old missionary and that.
Yeah.
Bring new toys, new exciting things to do as a couple.
Yes.
To spice things up, because I'm not saying the man is going to cheat on you, but come on, imagine a guy you're married for 10, 15 years, and then there's a college girl somewhere who is willing to whip you up and tie you and do all these things. Come on. Do that to your wife as well. Spice things up.
What can you tell that conservative woman or lady who is out there thinking or watching this and feels like she wants to try it out, but culture and tradition is holding her back? What can you tell her?
There's so many women who've never had an orgasm before. And I met a client, and I keep telling people this. She was about 55 to 60. I can't remember her age. Yes. She was about retiring age. And she was telling me I'm the age of her daughter. So I kind of imagine she's the same age as my mom. And she was telling me she doesn't even know what an orgasm is. She just hears. And I'm telling you, once she bought a vibrator, my God, she came to my house and told me, babe, where do you live? I'm bringing you the most expensive bottle of wine. She was so excited. But she was conservative. She's 55. You wouldn't expect, our mothers used to be using such toys.
Yes.
But she got so excited and liberal. Of course, she was hiding it from her husband. She didn't want the husband to know, because, again, they don't communicate. And I keep telling, when I host my bridal showers and that, and I keep telling people, communicate with your husband. Because if you don't communicate, you don't know what you're missing. You don't tell your man how you're feeling. You don't have an orgasm. For 10, 15 years of marriage, what's wrong with you? So, come on, you don't know what you're trying. You don't even know what you're missing, I mean. Yes. So, every single woman, I think, in Kenya should have a vibrator.
Well, you had it from her. We all should be vibrating.
Yes. Shaking all over.